Paula. So we are here today to talk about how much we love our dinghy and our dinghy davit, the Highfield 310 Classic with the FCT console. This has been such a pleasure to own and drive. I cannot say enough. And a lot of the reason why we chose this particular one is because it's light. This boat only weighs about 375 pounds all in. That's about the maximum weight I want to put on a 46-foot boat. It has been so much fun to drive. I love having my steering wheel. She'll do 22, 25 miles an hour with just the two of us in it. And yes, longer, bigger would be better. But for this boat, for this rig, we love this Highfield. Now, it's mounted on the Presto lift, and that's the main focus of this video. And the first thing I wanted to show before we go into it is that the way the Presto is designed, and the way with this carver, we're able to crisscross our rear lines on this floating dock, no problem. If we need to, if we're on a non-floating dock, quite often we can get away with using the cleats on the upper shoulders of the boat. But in this case right now, since we have tied off with a crisscross, step one is going to be untie and move the boat back a little bit because we're a little close to the dock. So we'll do that and then we'll catch up after that. Okay, so now we've got the boat resituated, and I'm going to show you a few things about how we placed the Presto lift on the rear swim platform. So the first thing we wanted to do was make sure we were inboard of our outboard cleat so that we had easy or adequate access to the cleat. We brought this back as far as we could. I believe it requires 17.5 inches of space. We were able to get her through bolted in all places except this forward bolt we had to omit because it just was a little bit too far forward. That said, we used stainless steel C-beams underneath the swim platform that extend probably all the way back to here, and then through bolted. We made sure to resin around the bolt holes. We didn't use any caulk around the bolt holes. It's all resined holes so that no water is going to intrude into the superstructure. So here we have our first Presto lift, and then about 52 inches further inboard, we have the next of the Presto lifts. We made a point to put in new, Paula, what's the name of this deck?
C-deck.
C-deck. So that we could cross over easily, and man, has that been a great addition. We love our C-deck. Maybe I'll start right here by just talking about the hook points. So our first hook, as you can see, is on this side of the dinghy, and it runs down and across and is hooked in to that there. So we have a downward force and a force that's pulling the dinghy to the starboard side. And then you'll see we have a second cross strap going from here over to a hook on the bottom of the boat. So basically we're using a triangle strategy to make sure the boat can't go forward or backwards, which is especially important if we're in hard water.
High seas.
Yeah, high seas. So then this is the first tie down point, which is holding the boat downward directly. And believe me, in smooth seas, all I really need is 1, 2 of the straps. Usually I'll put this strap here and that forward strap down. In the Presto, there's a built-in hole for it to take it.
Built-in hook down there.
Built-in hook down at the bottom. But we basically have the 4 tie-down points, and this sucker is solid. I've run it in the ocean in 8 to 10 foot waves. The waves are coming over. I don't know how happy it all is, but I'll tell you this, it isn't moving anywhere. So let me quick take these off. So here's one thing about the straps. I have used a secondary strap around this point here so that I'm not scratching the paint job.
With the metal hook.
With the metal hook. I need to buy more of these because it's great. The other thing is this open-ended hook, it works, but you can get yourself in trouble. We could get in trouble if it was to loosen up under high seas.
If it decided to unhook itself.
Yeah, so the next set of straps will have a safety
latch on that hook.
Yes, thank you, Paula.
Mm-hmm.
So she's disconnected. I've got my on-off button, and she's gonna work like she always does. We gotta grab the electric and water line. And it's just that simple.
What do we like to say? Presto.
Presto.
She's in the water.
She's in the water, and she comes out just that easy.
Yeah.
We love it. So once the dinghy is off the boat, get a feel for the spacing between the two lifts. Bringing her up out of the water to keep her from being in salt while we're gone is no big deal. The remote actually has quite a long distance range, so we can be good 20 feet away from the boat and still bringing up this up or down as we approach the boat. It's a nice compact system and very easy to get around. So, you know, when there's not a dinghy on the boat, I mean, yes, it is an obstruction, but no, it's not a terrible obstruction, and there are handles. We find our way around this here on this Carver 466 pretty easily. If we have to get off on the port side, we'll just come straight across this way. But I'm sure everyone can find a good solution for their boat. Beauty about this boat, and Paul, if you come on off and I'll follow you off, this boat has a built-in swim platform with top and bottom. It's completely encapsulated. And so we were able to put the hydraulic pump, it's sitting right in the center of the two arms, basically right below the dock box inside the swim platform. We elected the 24-volt system and were able to tie that with the required fuse right into the rear bow or the rear stern thruster here, which is already a 24-volt power system at the back of the boat. So a relatively easy install, and the hydraulics just come right up out from the bottom of the boat and right into the pumps for the rams for the davit.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
So we mentioned how much we love our Highfield 310 CL with the FCT package. And I'll start at the front. You know, the quality of this is PVC, probably coulda, shoulda gotten the Hypalon, but the PVC has been wonderful. Hasn't lost an ounce of air since we bought her a year ago. We love this front foot mount to get on board, the step to get on board. Thanks, Paula. As well as this little cleat. Thank you. I don't have my words today. We put a 6-gallon fuel tank up front here, as well as an anchor that's tied in. There's a hook that we could tie it through to have the anchor permanently attached.
Yep, underneath that seat there.
Love the sea deck material underfoot. We've kept this in. You wouldn't necessarily need to, but it actually turns out to be a great place for the passenger to sit here and the driver to sit here. It really weights the boat out nicely.
Not to mention we store all of our life vests in there.
Yes.
And they're out of the way.
Yep, they work perfectly in there. Love having the built-in lights, which we use at night quite often. Love having the built-in bilge pump. It's awesome. Wonderful to have a built-in bilge pump.
Yeah.
Seat's nice and comfortable. I'll open this up real quick, but there's really not much to see. We've got a battery and a bag. Yeah, not much to see.
We did purchase an aftermarket cover for it, which we use occasionally and works pretty well. But as it turns out, we're not using it as much as we thought we would.
I think, Paula, ultimately we should get a cover that just covers the pontoons so that you're not taking it on and off all the time, but you're protecting this PVC as we get to the southern sun. And I think we'll look at that in the fall.
We also have the option, this lip that goes around the pontoon. That is specially designed, I think, for two reasons, three maybe. One, it's a bumper. Two, you can hook a specially made cover right under it.
Yep.
And three, it deflects the water when you're underway so that you don't get as wet.
Yeah, Highfield really makes a big deal out of that bumper design, and they deserve credit. Love having, you know, for years we've had a rear tiller driven motor, and it's fine, but you know, I can put 3 or 4 people in here and I can adjust the tilt of the engine as needed and without a lot of heavy lifting. Every time we bring the boat up, I can lift and tilt that motor. The Suzuki motor has run flawlessly. She gets great fuel economy.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
love it.
We love her.
It's our car.
Paula's Putzer.
Paula's Putzer.
Love it. And we'll run you some of the first film from one of the first days we had her, using her up in northern Michigan. Oh my gosh, we were so thrilled when we first got this duo, and we're just as thrilled today. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what we're going to do today, we're at South Manitou Island, and we are getting ready to get in the dinghy and go for take our first drone shots. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So here's getting in the dinghy. I'm gonna just use my little remote. Okay, Miss Paula, come join me.
I'll hand you this.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Okay.